Welcome back to Andertons TV. We have an epic blindfold challenge to you today, for you even today. I've got Pete on my right, Ben on my left.
Hello.
Just like you like it.
Yes, we are putting, they're putting their powers of acoustic knowledge to the test. So,
On lack of.
got 5 guitars in front of me that are all pretty much the same body size. Appreciate there's maybe one here that's a little different body size, but they're all similar. I'm going to tell these guys what the models are, and you'll notice, and I'll talk to you through sort of the basic spec of each one. I'm going to play them, play a little bit to Pete, play a little bit to Ben, and then they're going to guess.
Lovely.
Which one they think is each. Then they're going to play them, which obviously is perhaps a little bit, hopefully they'll be easier for them to work out what's what. There'll be some caveats around where they can't touch, so we're going to avoid kind of going too far up the neck, avoiding touching the tuners and things like that.
The body?
Yeah, I think we'll just try and avoid any sense that you're trying to work out what it is from its sort of by touching it.
Right.
And then lastly, it'll just be which one was your favourite. So, again, don't know how you guys are going to play along with this. I suppose ultimately you could play along with just the audio bit of it, no problem at all. So the guitars are in no particular order. A Gibson J45.
Classic.
Classic.
Absolutely classic. Yeah, this is a mahogany back and sides with a spruce top. We've got an Alvarez LD70, which is our sort of D28 vibe guitar. So
That's a Laureate series.
Yep, so it's a dreadnought with a rosewood back and sides
What is a
spruce
laureate?
top.
That's their new high-end ones.
Yeah,
What
what does
is
it mean?
a
It's like a
laureate?
poet laureate. Does it just mean like the nominated best person in the country for something?
I think
that what it is?
originally it was the person who was allowed to wear the laurel wreaths.
Like a Roman
Going
thing.
to Roman things.
You know what?
didn't
Actually,
know.
on those wreaths it said, "Please like and subscribe." Because
But in Latin, right?
But in
Please us,
Latin.
like us, subscribe us,
Yeah.
like us.
Subscribe us, like us,
how do you
hit
say-
us the
Win us,
notification bells.
win us a clonus.
Yeah.
Clonus.
Clonus.
Hit us
Anyway.
the bellos.
Right, so
Links
what did I
us
say?
below
We had a
us.
J45, we
Yeah.
had the Alvarez. We've
Yeah.
got a very cool, which I've never seen before, Epiphone Frontier Chris Stapleton model.
That's the one we can't
wow.
touch, isn't it? Because that's got,
Well,
has that got a double.
It's got a big old scratch plate on
that-
there, so we'll see.
That's an American-made Epiphone.
American-made Epiphone, thank you.
Miracle.
We've got a Martin D18, everybody knows about
Classic.
that. I meant to say, actually, the Frontier, the reason we chose that one is that is a maple back and sides
Right.
spruce top. So can we hear that?
No.
Then we've got the D18, which is mahogany back and side spruce top. There's a lot of spruce here.
There is a lot of spruce.
And then we've got a Hummingbird, which is, again, it's, I guess, a dreadnoughty size, square-shouldered spruce top with a mahogany back and sides. Taylor is going to pass one over to me in a random order.
Can I just say, I haven't played a lot of Gibson acoustic guitars in my time.
Okay.
I'm a very
You're
Gibson
immediately
acoustic
coming up with
novice.
reasons why you're going to get this wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to get it all wrong this one. I'm not Rob Chapman, so
We'll see. I'm keeping my mouth shut for now.
Righty-ho.
I bet you aren't.
Okay, so
Right. First one.
here you are, audience. I'm going to play with the plectrum, okay? Or I can
Sure.
play with just my fingers.
No,
How
just
you
play
use
G
your
chords,
playing
C chords.
G
Yeah,
chords and
whatever
C
you-
chords.
cowboy
Okay, so
chords.
straight
Some
onto the
strumming.
camera.
Sounds good. Whatever it is.
Right, I'm going to Pete now. Ready?
Yeah.
Going to Ben.
Okay.
Sounds great.
That sound good.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Is it a
Okay.
bit D18-y?
You tell me what
I-
you. I need a column for Pete's guesses and a columns for Ben's guesses. So let me just
Right.
let me go to Pete first. So
I mean, I like the sound of it. It's not. This doesn't have tons of low end in it, which indicates to me that it's the back and sides could be either the maple or maybe the mahogany. I don't know, man. I don't know honestly, but it's got a bit of a D18 flavor to it. What's the Hummingbird? Is that mahogany?
That's mahogany and spruce as well.
Yeah, so so that could be that one, because those guitars are basically the two. Yeah, it could be either that Humming or D18.
what do you think, Ben?
I was erring on the side of the Alvarez.
Really?
I was, and I don't know. Like you say, it's got lots of low end, but I think maybe the top end might be a little bit more sparkly than I would expect from a D18. But it's so hard.
Again, I haven't played a lot of Alvarez guitars. I haven't played enough of them because they're great. So,
those
it's too
lower
early
ones
to say.
Yeah, I was
really.
going to say.
So, okay, well, look, I'm obviously I'm going to go through all this, and you can change your minds at any time. But we're loosely
what guitar
speaking.
was it?
Pete thinks it's a D18. Ben was going, could be an Alvarez. Oh yeah, Pete thought D18 or a Hummingbird,
Yeah.
sorry. And then Ben thought maybe it was Alvarez-y. Okay, what did you think? Write it down at home.
It's all going to be so wrong.
So hard, man.
This is where literally
We've
we just
only
go,
one guitar
yeah,
in.
it just sounds like an acoustic guitar.
Can I just tell everybody out there, I've got a blocked right ear because of my cold. So I'm only running half. I'm only
get
running
your
2 wheels
excuses
So
right
if you
now.
get half of them right. Okay, here we go. Here is guitar number 2. Coming to you, Mr. Pete.
Yeah.
Mr. Ben.
Let Ben go first this time.
Is the Epiphone Frontier one of the ones with a big pick guard on it?
The Epiphone Frontier is the one with the big pick guard on it.
I'm going to say it's the Epiphone Frontier.
Any reason why?
It sounds like it's got a big pick guard on it. That's not very helpful. I don't know. That's maple as well, isn't it? And maple, there's a lot of top end stuff in there, and it's just got a kind of slightly J200-y vibe to it in terms of its tasting notes. I'm probably completely wrong now, aren't I?
It's funny you should say that because it didn't even cross my mind. But it sounded like something I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
But it makes perfect sense when you say that that's got a massive scratch plate on the front, and that might, do you know the Elvis D28 where he's got that leather case around it?
Yeah. The Buddy Holly one.
It's just like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it sounded much more muffled than the first one. But I'm not sure if it's the. I thought it was either the J45 or the Alvarez, but
I didn't think it sounded warm enough to be a J45.
Should we move on?
Yeah,
I
let's move
think,
on.
to be honest, don't forget you're going to get to play these yourselves.
Yeah,
so
okay,
this is just
okay.
a quick whiz through.
Yeah.
So just a quick one there. Ben is going.
I'm going
I think
Frontier.
it might be the Frontier.
Yeah.
Pete going could be the J45 or the Alvarez.
Oh man.
Okay.
But can you write down? It makes sense what Ben says. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
please.
no,
we know that.
make
It's
a
on
note of that.
camera.
Doesn't happen often.
Alrighty,
That's what
here
you
we
said.
go. Right. Coming to Pete.
You okay? This is just impossible. It was funny. Can
It's
I just
hard,
say
isn't it?
on this one, it didn't make much difference whether you were playing it forward or you were playing towards me.
Oh, a nice observation. So
Well,
we're
in
saying
this-
good
in it-
rear
and-
projection.
It had no side projection because when you then turned to Ben, there was
Yeah.
I could definitely tell you were playing the other direction. But again, I think either that's the J45 or the Alvarez.
That's all right. I'm
Because
just scribbling. It
it
didn't make much difference which way I was turned.
There wasn't a lot of fire in it. There wasn't a lot of that cannon. I was missing. You know, like the D18 has got this massive sound.
So
when
sorry.
hit it
So
hard.
before we go to Ben, you think that could be a J45 or Alvarez? You said, didn't you?
No, hang on.
Sorry.
Hang on.
You said that for every single one so
Yeah,
far.
no, I think I'm going to go a completely different way. I think that's the Hummingbird.
Okay.
Ooh.
because the Hummingbird has got lots of lacquer on it, and it's a maple back and sides. Sorry, it's got that mid-rangey thing going on, right? Was it mid-rangey?
Yeah, it was kind of. I think the mid-range.
I'm
was
going
the
to
thing
Ben
there.
now, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the J45.
Sorry, what did you actually think it was then in the end there, Pete? You're saying it's the Hummingbird?
No. I think it was the J45 as well.
Copycat.
Okay. I mean, you literally went J45 Alvarez Hummingbird, but you're going back to J45.
Yeah, it's a
You're
smaller-
saying
it's a smaller
J45
sound.
I think that's the J45. I think it's because like Pete was saying about the mid-range thing.
It's a smaller body type.
It's not even that small. I think it's like kind of, it's a bit woollier, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Than you kind of
like a mammoth.
Yeah, that's
like it's not
it.
a bad thing that it's woolly.
Like because it's, I don't know if it's sloped shoulders.
Like your mum.
They have
Slope shoulders.
No, woolly.
woolly with sloped shoulders.
She's not. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful, your mum. I know.
I'm just going to gloss over that and say J45. Yeah, mid-range.
Okay.
It's 'cause
All
of
right. Okay.
The woolly mids.
That's enough. That's enough. As much as this is fun. That's 3 guitars down,
Oh,
2
man.
more to
And
go.
I have no idea.
Right.
Oh, God. Okay.
Thank you, glamorous assistant. Let's see what this sounds like.
Uh-huh. Right.
Coming to you, Peter. And to you, Ben.
Okay.
Oh my God. You go first, Ben.
That's hard, man. What have I said? I'm left with the D18 and the Hummingbird, aren't I?
I see you're doing it by deduction, are
Well,
you?
I'm just trying to.
So yes, if you're
I'm
doing
ready
it by
to-
deduction,
That's Gibson,
you have
that.
gone
Yeah.
Alvarez, you have gone
I think that's the Hummingbird.
Frontier, and you have gone J45.
I think that's the Hummingbird. It's very, but I can't like. It's got like kind of classic square-shouldered dreadnought vibe to it, but it doesn't quite sound like a D18.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
know
not.
what I mean?
It's a. There's not the cannon.
It's exactly.
You
yeah.
expect it to go whoa.
Yeah,
Like that, right?
Especially from this close, because
Yeah.
it's got that kind of that.
So
it sounds
sorry,
more
dude.
Gibson-y.
What are you saying you think that is then, Ben?
I think that's the Hummingbird.
Right, so, okay. And I've
mean,
just realised as well, as I'm scribbling down all your notes here, and I actually didn't scribble down what the guitar actually was each time, so I'm going to have to confer with... hang on a second, Tay, just point them, what was the order of them? Yeah.
A few moments later.
So I do apologise. So Pete, you said, I just recapping, you're not the canon.
It's not the cannon. I think again. I'm not sure how much it makes a difference with those. It sounds Gibson-y or Epiphone-y, so I'm not sure how much that scratch plate actually makes a difference when you in that. So for me, it's either the Frontier or the Hummingbird. Is it one of those two?
Which are you going for, man?
I'm going to let you, haven't got this fine. That's totally fine. You can sort of you can narrow it down.
As I said, I don't know Gibson sounds that much.
Right, let me try the last one then, before you guys get to have a little play, and we'll see what happens. Why, thank you, Mr. Tay-Tay. Coming into you, Mr. Pete.
Coming to me.
And going to you, Mr. Ben.
Okay.
That's more rosewood back inside it to me.
I think that's a D18.
I think that's the Alvarez.
Do you?
Yeah. It sounds there's much more low end in it. But maybe it is the D18. I do not know.
It was
I'm
completely loud. It was a loud one. That kind of canon thing.
Was it that loud?
It felt loud.
Did it?
Kind of the banjo killer. I don't know. That's not the. That's the different thing, isn't it? But
oh, I'm so lost now. I don't know. I've got it all wrong. I'm
going to say D8. I mean, I'm not sure about any of them. I'm going to lose all credibility. But
it's fine. Look,
you're
okay,
better than me.
So that's good. We've rattled through this, and again, perhaps we can just have some sort of on-screen graphic at this point that's saying number one, which Tay will know what it is. Number one, Pete was saying, I like this sound, not tons of low. I'm not sure. D18 flavour, maybe hummingbird, but I think more D18. Ben went, I'm erring towards the Alvarez, got lots of low end and a sparkly top end.
That's great. You hear the difference. It's my ear, man, I'll tell you.
Second one, Ben is saying, can I hear the big pick guard? However you hear a big pick guard, because it sounds like that. So I'm going Frontier, almost got a J200 vibe. And Pete said, sounds like something I haven't heard before, a bit more muffled. It's the J45 or the Alvarez. Next, Pete said, didn't make much difference which way I was facing. Didn't have that Canon kind of vibe, more mid-rangey. I think it's a J45. Ben, you said, I think it's a J45. It's woollier, but not in a bad way. It's got more mid-range. Number 4, Ben, you said classic square shoulder vibe. Don't think it's an D18, could be a hummingbird. Pete, you said again, not getting the Canon vibe off of it. Sounds Gibson-y or Epiphone-y, so it's either the Frontier or the hummingbird. And finally, Pete, you said it sounds more rosewoody. You think it's the Alvarez, I guess, based on that vibe. You went, Ben, you then said you thought it was very loud. Pete, you said, I don't think it was that loud, but there we go. And therefore, Ben, you said it's a D18. So boom, there you,
wow.
So there will be some score, I suppose. I'll leave it to Taylor to put a score up at the halfway point.
You're probably more right than I am.
Oh, I don't know, man. We'll see.
We can do let's do an electric shootout and then we'll see.
Let's get these two playing, but let's do it in the same order. All right, so we're going to give you the guitars in that same 1 to 5 order, and I'm going to give you like 20, 30 seconds each, and then you tell me whether or not... In fact, all we really need to do... No, actually, let's go around it again and just see if you change your minds, or if you stick with what you had. Right, I have updated my notes here. Taylor's cleared the guitars away. We're going to go through them in the same order, just for clarity, and apologies if I got my notes mixed up as I was talking before. On screen now is what the guys thought was from round 1. Interestingly, there's really only one guitar where they've conclusively gone, we think it's the same one. So here we are, guitar number 1. Pete, just to recap, you thought it was either a D18 or maybe a hummingbird. Ben, you thought it was the Alvarez. That's guitar number 1, so it's coming in hot. So now, no attempting to touch the tuners or touch the way the shoulders slope or anything like that. Just do exactly what you're doing. You know, we're playing stick or twist here. Are you sticking on the D18, going with the hummingbird, or changing your mind completely?
I don't think it's the D18. Oh man. I think Ben might be right.
That's enough time. I'm
giving
it to Ben.
D18 and I just don't think it feels the same. I don't know.
Right, okay, here we go.
I might go Alvarez on that.
Right. Coming in.
Okay.
So you're completely changing your mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so... I think this might be the Hummingbird, actually.
Yeah, it feels Gibson-y, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh man, the neck feels Gibson-y somehow. Oh.
Bit of Joe trading.
But it's got, look, when you're playing it cups out, doesn't it? It's got that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Almost like it's a really lacquered body, heavily lacquered body.
I think this is the Gibson Hummingbird.
Fine.
No,
So
I'll stick with Alvarez.
Okay, so we're doing a massive twist on both of you then. Pete's going from the D18 to the Alvarez, and Ben is going from the Alvarez to the Hummingbird.
Yeah.
Thank you, Taylor. We'll take those away.
Can you just do Hummingbird and for me as well?
If you just guess Hummingbird
just-
for every single one, Pete, you're at least going to get one right. So there's a clue.
It's Gibson-y though.
It is Gibson.
It's got a flat fretboard.
Yeah.
Incoming.
Coming in, Pete.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm so lost. I've got no clue.
It's hard. So much harder, I think, than electric guitars.
I don't know. I've got no idea. What did I say before?
Well, you said that's either a J45 or the Alvarez coming into you.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? I have to change.
Go on then.
I think that's the Alvarez. Honestly, I don't know. I can't tell, man. I give up. Pass. There's not much sound in it.
It's much quieter, isn't it?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's the Alvarez.
What did I say this one was before?
You thought this was the Frontier. Stick or twist.
But it's got that Gibson feel as well. You think you're right, Ben?
I think this is I don't know if it's the Frontier. I don't know if this might be the Hummingbird and the previous one was the Frontier now.
So you got a stick or twist. You said Frontier before. Are you staying Frontier or are you going Hummingbird now?
Can I switch and go? I'm gonna go Frontier for the first one, Hummingbird for that one that I just played.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, okay. Right, I see what you're saying
I
now.
don't know. I'm so confused.
No, it's fine. Look, that's,
Isn't
I'm
this
on
confusing?
it. I mean, Pete's just said it's every single one's the Alvarez so far, so who knows? Here we go, number 3.
Oh my good
This
lord.
is a really fun, difficult challenge.
It's very. It's much chunkier neck. My ears are shot, man. I tell you. Did we say J45 on this one before?
You did.
Yeah, I think this is the J45. Still.
He's sticking with J45.
Yeah. I don't know
Can I
why.
have the guitar?
I just got that vibe. Man, the
got
two
the
first
vibe.
ones
He's got
was
the
much
vibe.
more. Tell me that if that doesn't feel like a.
Tell me that don't feel like a J45.
It sounds so different from over here.
Does, doesn't it? Yeah, J45.
Interesting. Both very confident.
Well, not really. But it's
No,
something,
not really,
it's something
not at all.
Gibson-y and I've already used it.
All right, that's it. Done. 2 more to go.
I might stick it up. What would we say this one was? 3,
Number 4, Pete, you went, it's either the Frontier or the Hummingbird, and Ben, you said it's the Hummingbird. But given
Did I?
that
Given
you
it.
have said, now 2 of the previous ones, Ben, you've said Frontier and Hummingbird, I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just writing down what you say.
Wonderwall.
Play that one I like.
That's enough. That's enough. I'm taking it away. Giving it to Ben.
That's
Pete,
got-
you said it's
that's
either
got
the
sharp-
Frontier or the Hummingbird. So which one is it?
The neck is not rolled.
Not rolled neck.
Not finger
Does that,
not
does
rolled.
that help?
What did I say this was before?
The Hummingbird. Taylor is coming in to pounce.
Is that more like the Alvarez?
I don't know.
You're not going Alvarez again, are you, Pete? That's literally just like Alvarez, Alvarez, Alvarez.
Why did I say was this one? Was
You right. Final time here, Pete. You said it's either the Frontier or the Hummingbird, and Ben, you said it's the Hummingbird.
I think it's the Frontier.
I think it might be the Frontier as well, you know.
Yeah, I think it's
But
the
I've used
Frontier.
the Frontier on something else, haven't I?
Okay, coming in.
I'll stick with
Okay.
Frontier on that one. Yeah.
I think, to be fair,
to right a
that
little
you've just got to go with what your gut says it is, and if
Yeah.
you choose the same guitar for 2 or 3 different models, then so be it.
This is a D18, isn't it? Did I say this was the Alvarez before?
You did.
Whatever this is, I like this the best of all of the ones I've played, so you can put
Well, that was
down.
the final question. Okay.
And you know what? I think this is the D18.
Done?
But I don't know. But yes,
He doesn't know. He thinks it's the D18, but it is his favourite.
I think that's the D18. It's my
Okay.
favourite one. Whatever,
I do
whatever I've
apologise,
played
yeah.
now, that was my favourite one.
Okay. So can I just, sorry, so you thought it was the Alvarez first time round,
Yeah.
now you're saying it's the D18?
Yeah.
Ben, you thought it was the D18 the first time round?
I still do.
It's the nicest playing one of the
It
lot.
is yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it plays really lovely.
So you still think it's a D18?
I do still think it's a D18.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
And can I have which one of the 5 was your favourite, if you can remember?
This one.
This one as well. Wow. So we got a conclusive winner,
Yeah.
and you both think the D18 is the winner.
Yes.
Well, if it is the D18.
Exactly. All right, give it back to Tay-Tay.
Before, can we just sum up before we take our blindfold off? Or
For
can we
sure.
take our blindfold
I
off?
can give you that. Well, you
Well-
won't, now that Tay's put them all back
Okay.
down, you don't
Take 'em
know
off.
what
Take 'em
was
off?
what. Yeah, sure. Try not to look at my notes.
Oh,
It's
I'm
very-
turned that way.
it's very
How
bright.
weird.
So I'm just going to literally,
Oh, that
I'm going to go through it one at a time.
hurts my eyes.
Okay.
I have to say, Mr. Pete,
Yeah.
had you just gone with your answers from when I was playing, you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 out of 5 right. Had you
Whoa.
just gone with
It
the
was just
playing,
the D18 that I didn't get right.
I'm going to say from just the playing, Ben got 1 right. You got 4 right.
no.
However, as soon as you started playing, it all goes wrong. All right. So the first guitar.
Wow.
Okay, the first guitar that you thought was an Alvarez
Yeah.
and you thought was a Frontier after you'd played it was the D18. So you thought a
Wow.
D18 was a Frontier, you thought a D18 was an Alvarez. Okay,
Wow,
it was a
that's-
D18.
That's a surprise.
That's very interesting,
The
isn't it?
second guitar that you thought was another Alvarez and you thought was a hummingbird. And I just realised I've done you a disservice here, Ben, because you actually got 2 points. In fact, you got ignore me all completely.
It's Ben that's all the right ones.
This is so weird. The comment section, please delete the comment you've just said that Lee doesn't know what you're talking about. I do apologise. After the playing, you then get 4 out of 5 right. Is that right? I don't even know. Hang on, let me just see.
Yeah, it sounds right. Just
you get 3. You get 3 out of 5 right after the playing.
Oh, okay.
This is so confusing.
It's very confusing, but fun video,
anyway,
man.
so yes, after the playing, you thought it was an Alvarez. You thought it was a hummingbird. It was a hummingbird.
Ah,
right.
Okay.
Interesting. Right, third one. Thank goodness, all the way through. And it's interesting that this is the only one that. When I played it, when you played it, you all thought it was J45. You didn't want to change your answers, and it was the J45.
It's got a certain sort of middle of the road. It's all right kind of thing.
It's that thing, and it does. I like a J45.
Okay, so we've got a Frontier and an Alvarez left. All right, and you both decided that you both liked the same one the best. So you both decided you either both liked the Frontier the best, or you both liked the Alvarez the best.
It's the Alvarez, isn't it?
So interestingly, after playing guitar number 4, you thought it was a Frontier, you thought it was a Frontier. Originally you thought it was a Frontier, and originally you thought it was a Hummingbird. It was indeed the Frontier. Meaning, in a somewhat controversial...
We both said it was the Martin.
The final one at the end, you both went, it's the D18, and it was in fact the Alvarez, and you both said, it's my favourite guitar.
Yeah.
Which is a solid... back of the net for Alvarez because it's the cheapest one of the lot as well.
Where's this the one with the shot where it's not really rounded on the edges?
I think that was the Frontier that you said. It's just not really rounded on the edges.
So that's really kind of
I tell you what,
that's what I thought about that because it's such an old guitar.
Yeah.
And it's true to
I was
age,
really surprised on the Hummingbird and the Frontier, and I guess it obviously got the same DNA from the sort of made in the same factory, same kind of body style. Wow. They were like 30-40% softer sounding than the other. When I very first played it, I thought softer as in like worse. Whereas when you were playing it, I just went, you know what, actually it's just a different, slightly more delicate, not necessarily worse. But if you're just judging guitars from power, I don't understand what it is about the construction of a Hummingbird and a Frontier that's so much less powerful than obviously a Martin style, which of course the Alvarez is based on and the D18 is. But
I'm so super surprised. I thought I was going to pick the Martin. I thought when I picked that up and played it, that was the Martin.
So did I.
Can I just have the Martin? I just want to see because I got one.
Yeah. I knew
and that's nothing to do with
these were good because we did the video on them last time I was in, I think.
Well, it is interesting because of course, traditionally speaking, the American-made guitars would be generally considered superior to Chinese-made guitars, right?
Yeah.
And in many instances, they obviously still are. But Alvarez have gone for it with Laureate.
This has got a slight V-neck on it.
It has actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and
did you think you would get more like a D18 H?
If I'd noticed that, I would have known it wasn't a D18. But finally, blindfolded, I didn't notice that at all.
I mean, it's a great sounding guitar, obviously.
It sounds really similar. Those two.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
You know what? Now you've got your blindfolds off, you're both absolutely going to convince yourself that the D18 sounds better again.
No, it sounds amazing. It sounds super similar. Listen.
If anything, I'd say this has got a touch more low end, but this is rosewood rather than mahogany, isn't it? So.
Yeah, there is a Laureate version of the D18 as well.
Alvarez, hats off to you. Because that's an amazing guitar for that money. You cannot go wrong.
I'm going to give this scribbled piece of paper to Taylor and hope he can work out what I've written and who won. But yeah, there you go. So interesting.
Well,
how did you do though? Yeah. And be honest in the comments section. Did you guess what they were and which was your favourite?
And they of course they guessed them all right. And we can't. Wow.
Anyway, look, these are all for sale in Andertons. Swing by the acoustic guitar department, pick one up, or shop online with us. That's it. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Pete.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
Lee.
joining. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.